10 amazing albino animals. From bold, bright hues to stripes to spots, the members of the animal kingdom come in a myriad of colors and patterns. Accordingly, it can be a little surprising to see a tigress without her signature stripes, or a turtle without his mossy green shell. Although very rare, albino animals or animals born with a congenital defect that prevents color pigment from reaching their skin, fur, and eyes are totally breathtaking. Check out these super stunning albino animals in nature. Number 1. Albino zebras. Zebras are best known for their distinctive black and white stripes. Although scientists are still trying to figure out why they've evolved into this flashy color scheme, they do know one thing. Some zebras, although rare, can develop leucism, a condition that gives them a pale, almost blonde appearance. Similar to albinism, leucism is a partial lack of pigment that gives blonde zebras their unique, golden coloring. Number 2. Albino domestic dogs. Between fur colors and patterns, eye colors, and personality, man's and woman's best friend can be just as unique as human beings. And true albino dogs have a totally unique, albeit rare appearance. Oftentimes, dogs with merle or piebald coats are mistakenly considered albino, because their fur has flecks of white. In order for a doggy to be considered a true albino, however, she can't have any melanin in her skin, fur, or eyes. So, what does a dog with albinism really look like? Typically, they have all white coats, blue eyes, and pink noses. Because they lack pigment, dogs with albinism need extra protection from the sun's harmful rays. Their skin and eyes can be extremely sensitive. If your dog has albinism, be sure to protect her skin from strong sunlight with doggy-approved sunscreen or even a light coat. Number 3. Albino caribou. This albino caribou's mystical appearance makes it look like a creature straight out of the Harry Potter series. And considering its rarity, we might as well consider it a magical creature. There have only been a few sightings of albino caribou ever reported, mostly coming from the very remote Alaskan wilderness. Number 4. Albino kangaroos. Did you know kangaroos outnumber Australian residents 2-to-1? Although Australia has an abundance of kangaroos, albinos aren't nearly as common. While most albino kangaroos are kept in captivity, there have been reports of a wild, albino kangaroo just outside of Australia's capital. Park rangers believe he's about 2 years old, which is a true feat for an albino kangaroo. Albinism predisposes them to hearing and vision issues, which can make life in Australia's bushland extremely difficult. Number 5. Albino domestic cats. No, not all white cats are considered albino. While white cats simply have a gene coded for white fur, albino cats have a total lack of color pigmentation in their skin, fur, and eyes. The simplest way to determine whether or not a cat is albino: look at his eyes. White cats can have a range of eye colors including blue, green, yellow, orange, or a combination of colors, while albino cats have eyes that look very pale blue, pink, or red. It's important to note that albino cats don't actually have pink or red eyes. The reflection of light against the eye's blood vessels just make it look that way. Number 6. Albino alligators. Although alligators are extremely common in the swamps and lakes of southeastern America, you probably won't find any albino alligators. In fact, there are only about 24 albino and leucistic alligators in the world, all of which are in captivity. Why aren't there any albino gators in the wild? Their stark white appearance against the darker waters of swamps and lakes make them a prime target for natural predators. Number 7. Albino humpback whales. Albinism doesn't only affect land animals. Sea creatures, like humpback whales, can be born without pigmentation too. Albino whales have been spotted off the coasts of Australia and Norway, but travel incredibly long distances in search of nutritious plankton. Depending on the health of the plankton they're consuming, these whales can appear to have a yellowish tinge to their skin. But when they return to their home waters and nom on their regular plankton, their skin looks totally white again. Number 8. Albino sea turtles. Sea turtle populations are dwindling all over the globe. They're actually pretty high on the world's list of endangered species, making albino sea turtles an extremely rare sight. So rare, in fact, that they've only been photographed a few times. They've been seen scurrying from their nest to the ocean or swimming in the ocean's depths. Number 9. Albino domestic rabbits. Albino rabbits are rare in the wild. Their coat color makes them susceptible to predators, but they're actually fairly common as household pets. The easiest way to determine if your rabbit is albino is by looking at her eyes. If they look pink or slightly red, she likely has albinism. Like domesticated albino cats and dogs, albino rabbits do require a little bit of extra care. Be sure to protect her sensitive skin from direct sunlight and keep her indoors so she's protected from any potential predators.